Aries rising, this is your 2021 astrological forecast. And we will cover Mars through the signs, the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, Mercury retrograde phases, Venus through the signs, and Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. To begin with, we have from January 1st to March 3rd, Aries rising, we have Mars in Taurus in your second house of income. This is a great time that you will feel especially zesty in taking charge of your finances. Open that savings account and look into your valuables and investments. All action with regards to money matters are favored at this time, Aries. Now, the second Mars we have is Mars in Gemini until April 23rd, from March 3rd till April 23rd, and that will be Aries rising in your natal third house. And this is a great time with Mars in Gemini to take action on all neighborhood or locale energies. Aries rising, you will be the leader in your communications and with those around you. Maybe it's a great time to do some repairs on your car, and a great time for every and all communications. However, there is a bit of a deceptive square to Neptune, so be careful that all the fine print is well read at this time, Aries. Now, we then move into Mars in Cancer until April 23rd to June 11th. And Mars in Cancer is in your natal fourth house. And with Mars there, you will be especially very busy and active with friends. And this is a great time to purchase your dream home or property. All real estate matters are favored. However, there is a bit of a run-in with Mars to Pluto in Capricorn, and that is in your 10th house. So just be careful that the communications with family and regarding property are on the up and up, that you both receive a mutual understanding with regards to communication, family, and property matters. Next, we move on to Mars in Leo, and that is from June 11th to July 29th, Aries, and Mars makes a wonderful fire trine to your sign, your rising sign, Aries rising. And so Leo is in your fifth house of love and romance. However, there is an opposition to the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius in your 11th house. So make sure that you are clear with regards to love, romance, all forms of fun, speculation, and children, and connections with your dreams and your friends. Make sure everything is positive. Now, we move on to Mars in Virgo from July 29th to September 14th. Now, Mars in Virgo is in your natal or solar 6th house of work. So you will be especially very busy, possibly working overtime on the job, Aries rising, or you will find the perfect job for you. However, you are also going to be very aggressive and active towards employers and employees. So you might want to tone it down a little bit on the job. However, it's also a great time to take action on all dietary and health concerns, and a great time to buy a wonderful family pet. The next Mars we have is from September 14th to October 30th, and that Mars is in Libra, and that is in your relationship sector, Aries rising. Relationships right now should run pretty smooth. It seems you're going to be very active and busy taking action with making communication and all efforts with business contracts and relationships work. And by the odds, Aries rising, they very likely will. However, because there is a bit of a connection snafu with Pluto at this time, although a trine with the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, it's a great time to communicate your feelings and take your relationship and partnerships to the next level. Also, the public will love you now, Aries. Put your best foot forward. Speak your mind. The following Mars we have is from October 30th to December 13th, and Mars will be in the deep sign of Scorpio. And of course, Mars rules Aries and Scorpio, so you will be able to relate to that in your very deep 8th house, Aries rising. Great time to take action in beginning anything or ending something that does not serve you well at this time, Aries rising. Great time to look over any kind of trusts, investments, mortgages, and very big financial and important money matters at this time, Aries rising. So we move along to the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, and this is a rare conjunction, Aries rising, and it will be in your 11th house, and especially with you, Aries rising, because Aquarius by nature rules the 11th house, and Jupiter and Saturn will be in Aquarius, and within the 7-degree conjunction up until early March. After that, Saturn and Jupiter will remain in Aquarius, however, still in your whole sign 11th house, but not in conjunction. But nonetheless, they will light up your friend's sector, and it's a great time to pursue those hopes and wishes and dreams. Make the law of attraction work for you now. And this is going to be up until May 13th of this year, when Jupiter will then progress to the very sensitive sign of Pisces. So this is a great time. You're going to be the leader of all your friends, all your charities, and very outgoing right now. People will sit up and listen to you, Aries rising, in all your creativity and inventiveness. Now, on Jupiter 21st, Jupiter goes retrograde in Pisces. And Aries rising, that is your 12th house sector. So you're going to feel especially expansive with meditative and behind the scenes efforts. Maybe this is a time to organize your career or organize your thoughts and feelings. Express how you feel to those around you. Now, the 12th house also is connected with medicine or the psyche. So this is a great and wonderful time, Aries rising, to do some serious soul searching. And because we're dealing with the 12th house influence, some secrets may come about at this time. However, with Pisces, Jupiter there, the old ruler with Jupiter and Pisces, this is a great time to heal. So do some R&R and downtime right now, Aries rising. Okay, then we move along until July 28th, and then Jupiter goes back into Aquarius again. Oh boy, it's back to being outgoing and friendly and finding all kinds of new friends and acquaintances entering your atmosphere at this time. Aries rising. Now, you then move along with Saturn retrograde May 24th to December 10th. Now, Saturn is the planet of karma and wisdom. So there may be some blocks right now in your 11th house. Also, Aries rising, maybe some communication mix-up with those that are your best buds and your organizations that you feel especially connected to. So, however, make yourself clear to those around you and make sure, even though there are going to be some blocks, that you are going to be a leader and let everybody know it with your Aries rising outgoing nature. Now we finally move on to Mercury retrograde phases, and they are January 30th to February 21st, and Mercury goes from Aquarius to Capricorn. Now, Mercury will go retrograde in your 11th house, again, of those wonderful organizations and fun, to Capricorn, and that will be at the top of your chart, Aries rising. So even though there will be some delays and again communication mix up with those closest to you and your buddies and your career, this is also a good time to reflect, Mercury rising, on those aims and goals that you want to take off now. However, with Mercury at the top of your chart, it is still a great communicator and others will seek you out, Aries rising, for your leadership. Moving along, we have May 30th to June 23rd, Gemini Mercury to Taurus retrograde. So, Gemini is in your third house, and Gemini Mercury is in its own. So you have to, Aries rising, be especially sensitive to what you say and what you communicate at this time with those around you. However, as an Aries rising, you will probably be very popular on social media and with regards to all and any locale efforts and your neighbors. Now, when it goes back into the sign of Taurus, this is your second house, also rules speech. So again, somewhat like third house efforts, you must be careful in how you express yourself or what you say at this time, Aries rising. However, also watch the foods you eat and hold on to your money and valuables. The next Mercury retrograde phase is September 27th to October 18th, and this Aries rising will go from your natal 7th house of relationships to your 6th house of work. So the snafus and delays at this time will be regarding relationships, legal matters, and partnership. There could be a frustration regarding any legalities, contracts, and delays with regards with communications with both personal and business individuals at this time. However, you may find that a loved one from your past comes back into your life at this time, and maybe there's also a job that you've always wanted that could reappear on the scene. The next phase we go to is Venus through the signs. Now, Venus will be most elevated in the sign of Pisces, and that will be February 25th to March 21st. And because Venus will meet up with very dreamy and sensitive Neptune, that will be in your natal or solar 12th house. And Neptune in its own there with Venus is especially a very moving and touching time for you, Aries rising. You certainly are going to look for a lot of meditation, and maybe you will be especially moved from the past and anything connected with sensitivities and dreams, psychic visions. Write down all of your psychic visions, dreams, and any hunches that you may have. They very well could come true at this time. Now, on March 21st to April 14th, we have Venus over your first house, Aries rising in Aries, and so you will appear to be especially attractive at this time. This is a great time to up your appearance, Aries rising. Put your best foot forward. You will receive much in the way of adulation and compliments on your new do and the way you wonderfully, beautifully express yourself. Now, moving along on April 14th to May 18th, that's May 8th, we have Venus through the sign of Taurus. And Venus in Taurus in your second house. We are back to the money area of your life. But Venus there will sweeten the pot for you, Aries rising, as Taurus is the sign of money. So this is a great time for you to increase your savings account and possibly find additional sources of income. Great time for any and all money matters, Aries rising. Then May 8th to June 2nd, we have Venus going through the sign of Gemini. And this is a great time, Aries rising, for any and all communication efforts. And with Venus there, everything and anything just about that you communicate and say will be noticed. People will sit up and notice your wonderful sense of expression and your audacity. This is a great time for anything favorable for any vehicle repairs. However, because there is a bit of a run-in with deceptive Neptune, do be careful of the fine print. However, we now move along to Venus through the very sensitive sign of Cancer, and that will be June 2nd to June 27th, Aries rising. Now, you may find that your communications are a little bit difficult right now with family because of the square to your first house. However, with Venus there, all the sweet talk in the world will certainly help out your communications. And it's a great time to beautify your home. Make it the best abode possible, Aries rising. Then we move on to the sign of Leo, and Aries rising, the Leo Venus makes a blessed and beautiful trine to your rising sign. So this is a great time for love and romance. Anything fifth house matters. And take that trip you've always wanted to. Great relations with children or starting a family. And if you especially right now wanted to begin a hobby or your creative efforts, this is the time for you, Aries rising. Then July 21st to August 16th, we have Venus through the sign of Virgo. And Virgo is great with diet and health concerns for you, Aries rising. And you may find that any and all dietary concerns will have good results for you. Also, again, great, wonderful connections with your superiors and those you work with. And with Venus sweetening the pot in your sixth house, you very well could find the perfect job for you or other sources of income in the sixth house as well. Now, moving along, August 16th to September 10th, we have Venus in its own sign of Libra in your seventh house of partnerships. And Venus sweetens the pot with good relationships with those near you and dear to you. And that includes, now again, legal matters and business partnerships. Maybe you're looking to expand or start that business, Aries rising, that you always wanted to. You will have very positive results. Next, we move on to September 10th to October 7th. We have Venus through the very sexy sign of Scorpio, and that will be in your natal or solar 8th house. So this is a time, if again, like Mars, you want to begin something or end something or even get closure to any issue. And as all 8th house matters, Aries rising, which you can relate with the mutual sign Mars, this is a great time for depth. Feel zesty at this time about expressing your deepest emotions and feelings, and start some big financial matters at this time as well. Next, we move on, Aries, October 7th to November 5th, where Venus will be in the fun-loving sign of Sagittarius, and that makes a great trine to your rising sign. So you will feel footloose and fancy-free. Devil may care in your 9th house. Great time for on-the-job training, some study, and really putting your best foot forward with regards to all negotiations. And then finally, on November 5th to the end of the year, we have Venus in Capricorn, and that is at the top of your chart, Aries rising. For you will find that all your employers or those who have been keeping an eye on you will want to kick you upstairs in the reputation and promotion department. This is a time you will be gaining rewards, respect, and leadership now in all 10th house matters. Now we move on to the Uranus retrograde time frame, and that is in Taurus. That is until the middle of January on the 14th for a very brief time, and that will go retrograde in your second house. And then we have the second retrograde phase of Uranus, September 19th till the end of the year. So when Uranus is retrograde in your second house, Aries rising, you want to be careful of all your valuables. You do not want any losses or any unexpected problems with regards to your money. So, especially when Uranus makes connections to Venus and Mars there. Now we move on to Neptune, which goes retrograde in Pisces June 25th to all year. And Neptune can be kind of deceptive, and in your 12th house there may be some secrets that come about now that could be good or not so good. Great time with Neptune in its direct phase for anything medical or medicine. However, with retrograde, this is a time you might want to hold off on anything medical. But because it is a retrograde phase, please go back into the past, look into some soul searching and what gives you deep satisfaction. Then we come to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, April 27th until November 1st. And with Pluto retrograde in your 10th house for this brief time, you may feel some stumbling blocks or frustration with regards to your aims and goals, but not to worry. Even with Pluto with Capricorn is a teacher, so you might be paying your dues at this time, Aries rising. Nonetheless, Pluto gives you a lot of power, and people will still look to you, Aries rising, for your natural, amazing leadership ability. Okay, so we now will then move on to the eclipses for 2021. So the first eclipse for the year is May 26, 2021, and we have a total lunar eclipse, and that is at 5 degrees Sagittarius, Aries rising. That is a full moon at the top of your chart in the 9th house. Now, the eclipse there is a great time. However, you must be cautious in all areas of long distance travel. And again, with 9th house concerns, be careful of the fine print. Now, moving along, we have June 10th, 2021. We have an annular solar eclipse through the sign of Gemini at 19 degrees. And this is a new moon, Aries rising in your 3rd house. Wow, you're going to feel that anything and everything that you say, write, or do cannot go wrong. People will feel so positive about all your communication efforts, and it's a great time to get that new vehicle and be the best you can be with all 3rd house concerns, Aries rising. Then we move on to the partial lunar eclipse at 27 degrees Taurus, and that will be on November 19th, 2021. And Aries rising, this will be a full moon in your 2nd house, and this is also additionally a time that you must be careful of all your valuables, especially a full moon with Uranus there at that time in your 2nd house. Also, again, be careful of what you say or don't say to closest confidence, because there could be some conflicts now. Now, the final eclipse of 2021 is on December 4th, 2021, and we have a total solar eclipse, and this will be back to the new moon, Aries rising at the top of your chart in your 9th house. And so now is a time to read the fine print, go after your educational pursuits, do that long distance travel, and get the best training you can get. Now, this year, to sum up, will be one of creativity, Aries rising. Much of a stress with the Jupiter and Saturn connection with Aquarius in your 11th house. So therefore, you're going to be especially active with charities, organization, and the leader of your buddies and friends. Then we also have some connections with relationships this year. So even though there's going to be on again, off again, communication or ups and downs with legalities, all in all, it still will be a favorable year for you. Now, another thing is Aries rising. Watch some dietary and job career concerns. There may be some mix up in communications there, but with your daring Aries rising style, the whole year all in all will be memorable and exciting. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.